Hey guys, it's Harleywood here. A lot of us have these get home bags in our vehicles, but do we know if they'll work? I saw a story in the news recently about a family that was in a Jeep and it broke down somewhere. I think it was in Nevada, something like that, and it broke down out in the middle of nowhere. And as you can see today, I'm pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. I'm at our hunting property, and it's about 1,000 acres. I'm very familiar with the land, but I came out here because I wanted to put this to the test. I wanted to see if, especially this time of year, it's, as you can, well, there's nothing but pines, but as you can see on the hardwoods, all the leaves have fallen. It's the middle of January. It's supposed to be 30 degrees here tonight. And I wanted to see if I were unexpectedly stuck out here. Let's say it was a EMP, grid down, I don't know, Chinese invade, who knows. I wanted to see if what I've put in this bag would help me survive and help me get home. Now obviously I could sleep in the truck and I could stay warm, but I want to act as if the truck was not an option. I want to see if I could make it out here in the woods and just off of what's in this bag. And let's say it was an EMP and the vehicles were disabled. Obviously I would scavenge the vehicle for inventory and see what I have in here. So I'm going to do that next, and I'll lay it all out here on the tailgate and show you what I got. But that's what we're doing. So it's going to be a cold night. I'm going to have to build my own shelter, and should be interesting. Stay tuned. All right guys, let's take a look at what I found in the truck. It's amazing what you find under your seats when you haven't looked in a while. So none of this stuff was staged in preparation for this video. I truly wanted to do this as if I was stranded. I gotta see if my stuff will get me by. And if you're not testing your gear, if you're just throwing a bunch of stuff in a bag and hoping it works out, you may not like the outcome when you finally get stuck out here one day. So make sure you do this, especially cold weather. I've been nervous for the whole week doing this. I went to a couple of places yesterday, and Going Gear and the Prepper's Vault and some of these places. And I kept looking at stuff, and I said, no, you know what? I'm going to do it with exactly what I have already prepared, and that's really going to tell me if I need to start putting anything else in these bags or in my truck. But I did get a little bit lucky. This is my dog's old blanket. It's a very thin sheet. It is kind of flannelish though, but as you can see, it's nothing that 30 degrees is that's gonna stave off 30 degrees. So I found that. I found a towel. This is actually a seat cover for the dog. So it has these ties that go around the headrests in the back seat of the truck to keep all the dog hair off. It's pretty big, and my dog passed away about, I don't know, 8-9 months ago, and I totally forgot that was tucked up under the seats of the truck. So I also have a bag. It just has some rope and ratchet straps in it. This is typically what I used to tie the bike down with. Not sure yet. I mean, I have paracord and stuff like that in my go bag, so I'm not sure if I'll need that stuff yet. I found no less than 3 beanie caps tucked way up. 2 of them were tucked way up under the seat. One I wore up here because I wear one every day in the winter. In my glove box I found a headlamp, a pair of gloves, and this is my Maxpedition gear slinger bag. I think it's the Kodiak, and this is actually my laptop bag for work. So I'll do a separate review of this coming up shortly. But the only thing of benefit inside of here, though, let's see, is I always keep a toolkit with me, and this is just another Maxpedition pouch. Inside of here are just some various tools. I mean, you've seen a million of these reviews on YouTube, so I won't bore you with it too much. But let's take a quick look. So inside of their knife, paracord bracelet, another knife, a small multi-tool, a Swiss Army knife, pen, a flint and fire still, a little crowbar, a black Sharpie, a Streamlight pen light. Here's one of those slider fire kit things. I did a separate review of that, so check it out. And then a little thing of waterproof matches. Not a setup, that is in this bag all the time. And when I was getting ready for leaving last night, I never took the laptop bag out, so it's in there. And then, of course, what I'm really here to test is the Maxpedition. Well, not the bag itself, but I'm here to actually test my Get Home bag. If you haven't seen what I have in here, go check out my other video. I have not added anything with the exception of, and it wasn't just even in preparation for this, I put them in here a while ago. It was thermal underwear, and they're actually a real thin pair. But I'm going to go ahead and change out of these clothes. It's really breezy here today. I don't know if you can see the trees blowing around, but I'm in the shade. It's about 50 degrees right now. I apologize if that wind is really bad, but I'm going to go ahead and change, get out in the woods, and start building a shelter for tonight. Guys, here we go. One last thing, I do have my AR-15 with me. I'm going to try to use this to get a squirrel tonight, or armadillo, something, cook up some dinner. I wouldn't normally have this in the truck with me, so my statement earlier about making this as true as possible, I guess I went back on that a little bit, but I am always armed. So no matter if I got stuck in the woods or not, I would have a way of maintaining a way to get a meal. So, but I wanted to try this out just because I could. So I'm all packed up. I got the backpack on, got the stuff here ready to take, and I think we're ready to go. So let's go find a place to set up camp for tonight. Goodbye, truck. Here, wish me luck. Guys, I've walked down into a little bit of a ditch area, trying to stay up off these hills back here, and there's hills over here in front of me, and I hunt this area pretty regularly. In fact, up on top of that hill I've killed probably, I don't know, a couple does just in the past couple years, and I killed the big buck that I got just up at the top of the hill, right where I parked my truck actually. So one thing I've already learned walking in here is if you had to bug out from your truck and head home, I've only walked maybe 150, 200 yards, and be surprised how cumbersome it is carrying blankets and all the stuff that I salvaged from the truck. In reality, I probably would have only brought my rifle and my backpack. Maybe that blanket rolled up and up under my pack. I mean, I guess I could have rolled the tarp up with it. But it was very, I thought 200 yards, I could walk that just holding everything in my arms. I must have dropped those blankets 10 times on the way down. So let me show you what I've got going on. I've got the tree here that my sweatshirt's hanging on, and I've got two trees here. The furthest tree, I'm going to run a bank line from the one that my sweater's on across to that one, and I'm going to set this tarp up over it. Then I'm going to build a fire right out here in this area. There is a ditch over here. When it's really, really wet, the ditch has water. There's no water in it right now. So my guess is I'm going to have to follow it probably, I don't know, quarter to half a mile before I get to where I know that there's usually water year-round. So, it is what it is. There is a nice little patch of hardwoods over here, so a lot of deadfall. Most everything up this way is pines, but down in the ditch, this is a land that gets logged every couple years, and they replant the pines all the time. But the problem is they can't get the machinery down in these ditches to pull these hardwoods out of here. So the hardwoods stay here all the time, and every couple years these pines get harvested. So anyway, I say all that to say that I'm going to use all that hardwood deadfall for my fire. The pines won't create hot coals, they'll just dissolve. The pine just dissolves into ash. So I need a hot bed of coals so that all through the night I can just continue to throw pieces of wood on that fire. And so right now my concentration is first to go get all my fire material. I'm going to bring it all, stack it here, and when I think I have enough, I'm going to go get just as much again and double it up, because it's going to be 30 degrees tonight. I have a feeling I'm going to burn through a decent amount of wood. So stay tuned. Hey guys, here's a trick you can use. This is pretty dead, so it'll be an easy demonstration. But if you have something that you want to break, find two trees that are fairly close to each other, stick it in between them, and just walk it back and snap that off. Like I said, this is pretty dead, so if you find something that has a lot more life to it, might be a little bit harder, but good trick to know. Alright guys, I got all my firewood. Got a huge stack there, and it extends on over to here. Now I got to start processing some of this stuff. A lot of it's, 2-3 inches around, and some of it's 10-15 feet long. So it's only 2:30. I still got about 3.5-4 hours of daylight, so I got plenty of time. I'm getting hungry and thirsty, but I know I can wait for that stuff. If night falls on me and this isn't done, I'm going to be hating life. So let's get this firewood processed. And guys, when you're processing your firewood, I don't know if you hear that nice crisp snap. Make sure your stuff is dead. If it bends on you, or when you pop it, you see grain or a live limb in there, save that for later. Get all your dead stuff processed. That's easy. Got a pretty good pile of my kindling here. One trick or tip, I guess, for you is don't use all your small stuff to get your initial fire started. If you use all that up and in the middle of the night your fire burns down, you're gonna have to go out looking for more of your small stuff. And this stuff here is not hard to find. We have a lot of sweet gum around here, so it falls down dead all the time. I've got plenty of it around, but if I were staying here camping long term, I would eventually use up the resources in this immediate area, and I'd have to walk further and further and further. So don't be stupid with your firewood. Alright guys, got a good pile of firewood. Pretty happy with that. If I get this shelter up and the sun hasn't gone down yet, I'll go get more. So what I'm going to do is build a shelter that is very low, and hopefully the wind's coming this way, down off this hill. It'll die down right at dark, but it's probably going to be 5 to 7 miles an hour all night long. So it's going to be hitting me right in the back. My fire is going to be right here. This tree here, that tree there and that tree there are going to be what I tie my bank line off to. And I'm going to tie it real low, about as high as the barrel of my AR-15 there, because I don't want a lot of room to have to heat. I do have a space blanket with me. I can put that in there as a heat reflector in the back, and I may even build a reflector wall right here. The sun is going down pretty quickly. It's probably 4 o'clock now, so I got about another hour and a half of daylight. So let me get started. So I got the tarp and the shelter up. I ended up tying off to 2 trees that were a little bit closer together as opposed to this one here, because that seat cover that I took out of the truck wasn't quite wide enough. I also went ahead and put a space blanket over the bank or the ridge line in here, and that way it'll reflect any heat from the fire directly back down on top of me. If you walk around the back here, you can see that I've staked off the tarp in both corners. There's another stake there, and I pulled the space blanket out as much as I could to hide any of the gaps on the side. The side where my head's going to be, I got it pretty well protected. The side where my feet's going to be, not so much. So we'll see how it goes. Got about an hour left of daylight, and I'm going to go try to find some food. I'm getting kind of thirsty. So I walked for a ways, and I found this stream, and I don't know if you can tell, but it is not moving. If I throw this in there, it doesn't even move. So I have a life straw. I did not bring my Sawyer filter with me. I forgot it. But I also have a canteen. So what I'm going to do is fill this canteen and then drink from the canteen with the life straw. There we go. And now I can drink directly from the canteen. That's good. Went walking around for about an hour. Didn't even see, saw some birds, nothing big enough to shoot down, and no squirrels, no nothing. Yeah, we do have some huge squirrels out here. It's not just those gray squirrels. We call them fox squirrels, but they're like small cats. So dug in my bag and pulled out my Daytrex bars. I've never even eaten these yet. So I guess that's dinner tonight. Alright, it's starting to quiet down a little bit. We're at our last light right now. I went ahead and broke open this Daytrex pack. Each one of these is like 400 calories, I think, for one of these bars. There's 12 of them in there. Or each one's 300 calories. There's 12 of them in there. Let's give this a try. They're very crumbly, I do know that. It's very, very dry. It's not bad. It's not fresh squirrel over a fire, but got a coconut flavor. Alright, I'm getting this fire ready. You can see I've already got a little tinder bundle there. And now I'm going to do some feather sticks. If you're not familiar with what they are, it's basically taking your knife and creating these small feathers off of the wood. And it's very simple. You just do it by shaving and working your way up. The benefit of this is that you're increasing the surface area on the wood and making it easier to take a spark. You just do this all the way up. Oop. And you can see why they call it a feather stick. So let me go ahead and finish this off and we'll get this fire going. Let's go ahead and get this started. So Got my tinder bundle here. And I have some dryer lint with a little bit of magnesium on top of it. And we'll, oh, spilled a little bit. And we'll see if we can't get this to take a spark. There we go. That magnesium is going to burn good and hot, and hopefully the wind keeps it blowing away from my direction. You can see those feathers. See the feather caught on fire? Alright, let's start putting some bigger stuff on. Good little fire burning. Last 20 or so minutes of daylight. And so far that thing's putting off a lot of heat. May have to end up pushing it away. Like I said, it's about 5 feet from where I'm laying. But it'll keep me warm, that's for sure. You know, it's actually amazing how much warmer it is in this shelter than it is out there. I got up, and it's not even dark yet, as you can see, but I got the fire going really well. And I got up and said, well, let me go get some more firewood since I got time, rather than just sitting here doing nothing. And it's quite a bit colder out there than it is in here. This little lean-to with this space blanket thing is doing quite a good job. So the fire is nice and warm. And what I've got going on is I had several logs that I couldn't process down any smaller, so slowly but surely I'm pulling them out onto the fire. So you can see right now some of those logs are quite long, and all I'm doing is as they burn down I pull more and more onto the fire. Seems to be working pretty well so far. It's about 4 a.m. and I think it's about 31 degrees right now. I got a good fire going. I've been having to stoke it up about every hour, so not too bad. But when the fire's going like this, I don't need a blanket, I don't need anything. This backstop where I put up that silver blanket has been reflecting all the heat back down on me. It got hot actually in here a few times, so not a bad little setup. So now I'm going to try and get another hour or two of sleep, and we'll see you in the morning. Well, the sun will be up in about 30 minutes. The shelter held up pretty well. Probably not the most restful night of sleep. Like I said, I had to get up about every hour when the fire went out. So this is my last hoorah of fire right here. All of my wood is gone. Yeah, so I guess I made it, and we'll see you when the sun comes up. Well guys, it's 7 o'clock. The sun is coming up, as you can see, and I made it. Again, not the most comfortable night, as you can see by my breath. It was pretty cold. Still got the last little bit of my fire going, but I am ready to get out of here and go home and get some sleep. So I hope this video was helpful. A couple of things to take away that I'm taking away from this is one of the biggest things is not starting my fire too early the night before. I think I lit this fire around 6:30 yesterday, and the last little bit this morning, I mean, I scrounged every little scrap stick that I had to build this last fire here. So next time I'll probably hold off till about 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night before I light the fire. Couple things in my pack that I realize I need: a better sleep system, a sleeping bag or something. I've been thinking about a hammock, but a hammock's not going to do well for this cold. I had to get up no less than 20 times last night, so hammock would have just been a pain in the butt. And I need an axe. I still have some bigger pieces that I've just been feeding them into the fire as they burned, but I really would have liked to have been able to process them down to 2 foot or even 18-inch pieces. It would have made life a lot easier last night. What else? I think that's about it. I mean, I have a bivy sack in there. I could have crawled in that, but like I said, when this fire is going, it's probably a good 20 to 25 degrees warmer. I mean, I could touch the fire with my feet from where I'm sitting right now. I'm pretty close to it. So, time to break down camp, get home. Wife might still be in bed, and that's where I'm headed. So I hope this helped, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.